Estamos aquí en una tienda de whisky. Vamos a ver si nos explican un poquito las diferentes sabores y vertientes del whisky. O sea que vamos a conocer un poco, a ver si nos puede ayudar. So, from where is the shop? How long is open? Why here in Grass Market, in Victoria Street?
Well, we're the Whisky Shop. We've been here for 14, nearly 15 years. Um, we started up at a time when single malt whisky was starting to become a little fashionable again. For a long time, it was not so fashionable. So we started up, and since then, it's become a bigger and bigger thing. People are looking to try unusual whiskies and try all the different brands that are out there. So it has been sort of good timing, really, for us. Also, the international market has come on hugely, so there's a lot of people visiting and also wanting to try different whiskies. So.
Oh, nice. And what do you have here? What can we learn from you? Or if I need to buy a whiskey, what do you recommend? Because I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I can try.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Scotch offers is a huge variety of flavours. The number of distilleries that we have allows for quite a lot of variation. So really it ranges from very light to very strong in flavour. And we represent that here with the whiskies in the barrels. These are single cask whiskies, just from one barrel. And we choose the barrels very carefully so that they're interesting and different. And I can run you through the different whiskies and you can have a little taste if you'd like as well.
Yeah, okay, so let's go. Can we try?
Yeah, of course you can. Maybe start with this one because this is a nice light, soft whiskey.
Okay.
It happens to be one of my favourites. It's from a distillery called Glenlossie that no one has ever heard of, but I like it.
Okay.
To start with because it's light. Distillery is Glenlossie. Glenlossie's up in Speyside in the northeast of the country. It's been producing for about 150 years, but unlike some distilleries, it's never become famous. They don't promote the whiskey. It's used for blending. It'll go into things like Johnny Walker and Dimple. But we've managed to get a cask of it on its own, so have a little taste.
Okay.
So this one, a little sweetness, quite grassy and fresh. Very classic whiskey from Speyside in the northeast. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so running you through some of the other ones. We then have things like this one, Craigellachie, a distillery that's starting to become a little more famous. Normally their whisky is bourbon cask matured and is quite soft, but our one is sherry cask matured and it's rich, fruity and full-bodied. Quite a contrast to the first whisky that we have here. This one I think is the most popular at the moment, so have a little taste of this.
Okay. So which is the difference? Because when the people want to buy whiskey, they say malt whiskey.
Yeah.
So which is the difference between blended and malt? Because some people, I want malt, no, but all of them they are. So
yeah, well, single malt just really means it's from one distillery only. So in the case of this, it's from the Craigellachie distillery. Now, single malts, each distillery has its own character, and that's why people get into single malt, because every distillery has something different to offer. Blended whiskies can be very good too, but are a mix of many different whiskies together. And in doing that, you can build up complexity and probably you end up with a more generalised flavour that suits a wide audience. Single malts are not necessarily better than blends, but they're more specific in flavour. So even just using these two as an example, you'll see quite a difference. There's 120, 130 distilleries in the country, each with its own style, and that's keeps you going for a while. Lots of options.
there is a world behind the whiskey. We can make just a reportage for that.
This one smells a little chocolatey, and when you taste it, it's sweet but fruity and a little bit of oakiness to it as well.
It's sweet.
So that's always going to be a little strong in alcohol.
I'm gonna live here.
Yeah, that's all right. And so that really shows you a difference in how you mature whiskey. One is matured in a bourbon barrel, one in a sherry barrel. One of the other famous styles of Scotch is peated or smoky. So that is what we have here. This one is from the island of Islay, and we're not absolutely sure which distillery has made it, but it is nonetheless quite a nice, interesting whisky. Smoky, but also kind of rich, a little bit like the last one. We often find even between these three, people have a preference. And often what we would do is, if you like this one, you can buy this one, but we can then show you other whiskies that are similar to this, or if that was a preference similar to that. We obviously have hundreds of different whiskies.
Okay, I see that you have a lot of kind of bottles and different brands.
Yeah.
Just not too much.
That's okay, you don't have to finish. In the shop, it's obviously very important for us to have famous whiskies, famous names like Glenfiddich or Macallan or Lafroig. And they're famous, they're classic brands that have earned their place on the shelf, but we also see it as important to get whisky from small distilleries or distilleries that don't have a high profile. We also specialise a little bit in single cask editions, which by their nature are limited, unusual, and it's these types of whiskies that you won't find in other places. Can be good ones to pick up if you're visiting Edinburgh.
Nice. Yeah. But let's try this last. I see the difference.
So you taste the smoky.
Yeah.
That one, it's always worth tasting. Not everyone likes it, but some people love it.
If you start with this one, you will lose the flavor probably
Exactly.
of the rest because it's stronger.
Yeah, if you're trying a few whiskies, it always makes sense to start with the light and then move to the stronger. If you taste the first one again, you don't really taste much at all. After the smokiness will still sit with you.
Feel in my mouth. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.